Vanguard Bay is part of the Salish Sea and home to the Seychelles First Nation people. Hello and welcome to BC Kelp. I would like to thank everyone that attended the International Seaweed Symposium last week, and I would like to say I am very inspired to continue working on my biochar marine restoration initiative after talking to so many brilliant marine biologists from across the world. I gained really great insights into the importance of the seaweed's microbiome, the distinct community of bacteria that live on the surface of the algae and perform many vital functions. Indeed, in times of heat stress, that community suffers greatly, and the health of the algae deteriorates as well. Biochar's huge surface area, as large as 130 square meters per gram, provides an incredible reservoir for those valuable microbes, and more research must be conducted on the biochar's ability to augment microbial communities and what this supplemental habitat for microbes can do for the resilience of shellfish and seaweed. Another interesting thing I learned was the important research of Dr. Yang K. Kim of South Korea, whose studies have demonstrated that pre-treatment of Pacific red seaweed with biostimulant can significantly enhance the species' thermal tolerance, growth, and biochemical resilience under high temperatures, which is especially important as rising seawater temperatures due to climate change threaten seaweed aquaculture and native seaweed populations. Dr. Kim's research has important implications for biochar as a supplemental material for kelp restoration in BC because biochar can be loaded with my own BC kelp and seaweed biostimulant and delivered to the hatchery to pre-treat and grow kelp comedophytes to improve thermal tolerance before being distributed on the restoration site. Dr. Kim noted that this treatment changes gene expression and is a trait that can be passed down to future generations. So this technique using biochar with seaweed biostimulant can be particularly effective to adapting kelp and seaweed populations to heat stress in a restoration program. Much more research is necessary to determine what other kelp and seaweed species respond to this pre-treatment and how my own BC kelp and seaweed extract performs as a biostimulant pre-treatment on various seaweed species exposed to thermal stress. This is a rock in Vanguard Bay that I have now named Bald Rock because I cannot find any kelp or seaweed living on this rock. As you can see, it is an excellent candidate to perform kelp restoration activities. This rock is a few hundred meters out in the bay and should be getting decent sunlight and water flow, but for some reason there is not kelp or seaweed living here. Vanguard Bay is part of the Sunshine Coast that gets particularly exposed to higher temperatures, so thermal stress can be a key stressor affecting kelp populations. There are some decent sea cucumbers present. I would give it a 3 out of 10 in terms of fishing quality, and there are some green urchins here, but nothing fishable. I did another dive in the back corner of the bay, and I did manage to find some seaweed on this rocky slope, and I would rate this seaweed cucumber patch at 2 out of 10. You can see there is lots of bare rock, and in a typically healthy site, this would be loaded with all kinds of seaweed, and you have to really look closely and peel back the kelp leaves to find the sea cucumber. This is another good site to perform kelp and seaweed restoration and would be well suited to using biochar as it is not in such a high current and wave exposed area, and there are many rocks and crevices that the biochar will easily get lodged to secure itself as a supplemental habitat for kelp and seaweed comedophytes. In conclusion, Bald Rock and the shorelines of Vanguard Bay provide an extensive undersea habitat to demonstrate biochar as a supplemental material for kelp and seaweed restoration, and I hope you all will support BC Kelp's restoration activities in this area. I'd especially like to thank the Seychelles First Nation people and all coastal Salish whose ancestor spirits protect me every time I dive and go on the water.
Hey, Charlie!
I hope we can all work together on this project on how we can use biochar to make a healthier, more resilient marine ecosystem and environment. Thank you.